Multicultural Arts Victoria and former Commissioner for Victorian Multicultural Commission.
Please welcome Sri Chidambaram ji.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening. Namaskaram. I would like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we are gathered and pay my respects to their elders past and present, and also to our community's elders who may be present here. I acknowledge all the dignitaries, faith leaders, organizers, volunteers and friends present here. We are indeed fortunate and honored to celebrate the Equality Day in the presence of His Holiness Padma Bhushan Shri Tridhandi Chinna Jeeyar Swamy ji, one of India's most enlightened spiritual leaders. I would like to congratulate Jet Australia Foundation and Shri Durga Temple committees, especially Satya Ramadugu and Shri Kulvan Joshi, and all the volunteers who have worked tirelessly to organize these events. I think they deserve a few words about Acharya Sri Ramanuja, his teachings and achievements. Ramanuja's life and work as an enlightened religious reformer is arguably unparalleled in the world of Hindu theology. He lived between 1017 and 1137 CE. The visionary saint promoted the principles of equality, social justice and compassion for all beings. He advocated Sri Vaishnavism, and Sri Vaishnavites follow Vishishtadvaitam, which is qualified non-dualism. Considering the Vedas, the scriptures, as a reliable source of knowledge, Ramanuja took a holistic approach in interpreting all the Vedic texts. He asserted in his magnum opus, Sri Bhashyam, that previous schools of thought, religious thought, selectively interpret those Upanishadic passages that support their monastic interpretation and ignore those passages supporting the pluralistic interpretation. According to Ramanuja, there is no reason to prefer one part of a scripture and not the others, and attempt to give interpretations of isolated portions of the Vedas. He firmly believed that the whole of the scripture must be considered on par, expressing a consistent doctrine. As the Vedic literature mentioned both plurality and oneness, Ramanuja took the view that the truth must incorporate pluralism and monism, or what he called qualified monism, which is Vishishtadvaitam. The path to Brahman or Vishnu, according to Ramanuja, is devotion to godliness and constant remembrance of the beauty and love of personal God. Throughout his life, Ramanuja's thoughts and actions show his firm belief in inclusion, irrespective of gender, caste or religion. He dedicated his whole life to empower everyone with bhakti or simple love with devotion that will eventually lead to his or her liberation. The versatile genius also reformed the administrative systems and the worship practices in various temples, especially those in Srirangam and Tirupati, and ensured that all segments of society had designated roles in the administration and rituals when the prevailing social mores were very rigid. With his compassionate ideas, Sri Ramanuja became the catalyst and lifted up the neglected people in the community to the same platform on par with the elite in the society 1,000 years ago, which was then in the grip of social evils of untouchability and caste-based discrimination. As a great social reformer, he was the first one to bring the downtrodden into temples and open the doors of religious instruction to them all. It is said that he received the teachings of the Tirumantra or sacred incantation from his teacher Goshtipurna with a promise not to share it with anyone. But soon after, Ramanuja revealed the great teachings to all the people who desired to learn, irrespective of caste or sex. His teacher, while he was initially very angry at Ramanuja's disobedience, later accepted his explanation that he did this out of compassion for all and admired Ramanuja for his supreme selflessness and bestowed on him the title of Embiramanar, meaning one who is more merciful than even Bhagwan. To elevate the untouchables socially, Ramanuja gave them the name Thirukkulattar, meaning people of high or noble descent. He was a man much ahead of his times, a Dirgadarshi, who inspired Mahatma Gandhi to call them Harijan in the last century. According to Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramanuja opened the door to the highest spiritual worship from the Brahmin to the lowest caste. That was Ramanuja's work. A few words about Swamiji. Sri Chinna Jeeyar Swamy has been spreading the key messages of universal oneness and equality based on the core guiding principles which are serve all beings as service to God and worship your own and respect all. In his discourses, this powerful message illuminates humanity and resonates with some of the key beliefs of the Indian diaspora in Victoria relating to the connections between spirituality, religion, multiculturalism and community harmony. Swamiji shares a deep concern and compassion for society as a whole and has been tirelessly promoting humanitarian services in many countries over many years. A word about the magnificent statue of equality in Hyderabad, India, which is a dedication to Sri Ramanuja Acharya on his 1000th appearance or birth. Its beauty and grand architecture are unique in a setting of serenity. Sri Chinna Jeeyar Swamiji took the daunting project and through his untiring efforts completed the construction against great odds and many obstacles. We devotees are eternally grateful to Sri Swamiji.
Thank you so much, Chidambaram ji.
Thank you. And all I want to say is, I'll conclude with a verse of benediction from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Asato ma sadgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya, om shanti shanti shanti. Learn. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.